No, it won't spin on its side. Don't spin. Gosh, why is always this shizzle happening? Go up, 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 up. Right, yeah, that does not work. All right, let me take it out, put it in again. Gosh. La, 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 la. Right, let's try pop it up here instead. Oh, that's a bit better. You're live now. It's live. Can't. You're live now. It's live. Can't up its mind. Bummy neck. Right, don't knock off. Stay on. Right. There we go. Right, got there in the end. It's not even Mercury retrograde. Right. Let's check the sound check. Testing, testing. Can we hear? Yep, we're good. All right. So let's start with the dragons. So this is a reading for the 31 Atlas Comet. So there's a lot of speculation as to what it is. There's, depending on who you're listening to, there's various bits of speculation. So I believe some spiritual thinkers believe that 31 Atlas is a light ship or something along those lines. And places like NASA are just saying it's a comet and it's not nothing important or significant. But this, I just wanted to do this reading to see what I can pull from spirit. I've already channeled a little bit of information just before I turned on this stream, just for a few themes which this reading will cover, and we're going to be pulling a few cards. So this here is a Dragon Oracle. I've got the Crystal Power Tarot. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Got Sacred Sights deck, Angelic Lightworker deck, Ascended Master deck, and some numerology cards as well. So it should be interesting. Let's have a look. So if you are watching, please, can you say hi, Sophie, please? It's your girl, Sophie. Hi, Sophie. Okay. So feel free to type in the comments where you're watching from. All right, so let's pull our first card. What is important around this subject? The Emerald Dragon, that is interesting. Okay, so the Emerald Dragon, so I believe this is quite significant. I did see an image. I actually almost used that image in the thumbnail for this video, but I kind of didn't. But the image, it was showing green light surrounding the comet. So for some reason, the comet was looking different, but it was like surrounded in these bright green lights. And the cards that we have here is the Emerald Dragon. So I believe there's a great significance to do with the Emerald Order. I believe it's heralding the comeback of the Emerald Order, which is interesting because I've been channeling bits of information about the Emerald Order for the past couple of months. I've been drawing in bits and bats and writing it down. So I will be doing a separate video about that, but it's interesting that it seems to be entwined with this. So it says, Emerald Dragon brings in healing and cosmic abundance. Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with fifth dimensional blueprint. So fifth dimensional blueprint, that's very wordy. So divine perfection, support your divine perfection. So if you've watched any of my other videos on spiritual subjects, I'm always talking about the divine spark. Every one of us, we all hold a divine spark within us. We're all connected with deity. So as much as mainstream religions choose to kind of remove that from us or kind of separate us from deity, having God far removed from us. We're all connected. We all have divine spark within us. So that's an important message here. So good fortune is coming. So emerald cosmic abundance. And emphasis on healing as well. Like the archangel, which is connected with this colour, is Raphael. Raphael is a very powerful healer. So most people who are in need of some form of healing, they can come to Raphael, and Raphael will assist them with healing. Okay, interesting. So that's our first card, the Emerald Dragon. Where do I get a hat like that says Flabberjabber? So this is one of a kind, this crown. So this is a crystal crown. I actually made it. So yeah, I'm not sure where else you'd find something like this. But I'm sure if you have a search, you may find something similar. Especially on Pinterest. I was inspired to make this crown when I saw similar crowns on Pinterest. There is crystal crowns are quite popular. So the reason why I'm wearing it in this video is it's kind of, I'm using it kind of like this is my version of Cerebro. So if you get the Marvel reference, Cerebro is used by Charles Xavier, so he uses it to empower him and to give him a booster with his gift. So that's kind of why I'm wearing it, just to give me a little booster while I'm picking up information. Okay. Right, so that was the Emerald Dragon. Let's go in with some numerology here. Okay. It's Lily at 03 says hi, and Luke Perry 2104 says hi. Hello all, welcome. So let's pull us another card. What energies are around us and around the 31 Atlas Comet? Please let us know, Spirit. I kind of want to pull multiple of these cards for some reason. So we've got one card, let's have another. All right, 1010. Interesting. So we've got 1010, and it says good health and harmonious living. Interesting. So I feel with the comet passing by, it's well known, a lot of different other New Age thinkers and spiritualists will say that with the comet passing by, and a lot of astrologers would likely say the same thing as well, with the comet passing by, it does give us human people, us people on planet Earth, we do get energetic updates, upgrades, and these are kind of like light body activations, that kind of thing. So it's just a way of strengthening us, empowering us, and making us ready for whatever the next stage is in our evolution. So good health and harmonious living. So that is a good goal. So that is the card which came through. Interesting. And the next card we have is 33. It says focus on humanitarian issues. So that's interesting. So I wonder if we're going to see a bit more of that. Like I'm not one for watching the news, so I'm not sure if this is a big subject at the moment, because there's all sorts of crazy things popping up when it comes to humanitarian issues and news in general. There's always a big story or this, that, and the other going on. But Spirit is bringing it to our attention that there is going to be some focus on a humanitarian issue. Number 33. Interesting. Okay, so I'll leave that out there. So let's go with the Crystal Power Tarot. Let's see what's next. Crystal Power Tarot. What have you got? What else have you got for a spirit? What do we need to know about this comet? Please let us know. Thank you. Right. The Moon card. Interesting. Wow. So this is the Moon card. And it says the gemstone which is tied with this card is Rainbow Moonstone. So Rainbow Moonstone, if you look at the properties of that gemstone, the metaphysical properties, Rainbow Moonstone, literally, I like to wear it because it puts you in tune with your emotions. So I feel like the upgrades and downloads that we'll be receiving, they may be to give us maybe a bit more emotional resilience, or to kind of put us a bit, make us a bit more empathetic. Because I feel like in this world there's a lot of people who kind of cut themselves off from the emotions, and they're a bit apathetic, so the opposite of empathetic. So I feel like the energies that are coming in are going to assist us with this. And I guess that does tie in as well with the humanitarian issues card that it was saying. So when you're feeling more empathetic, you're going to be more likely to look at your neighbours, look at the other people around the world, look at the people who are just around and have stuff going on. Okay, so the message of this card, it says, my intuition guides me to the right decision. Interesting. So I'll show you that card again. My intuition guides me to the right decision. Okay. Let's see. Right. So one of the messages that I picked up was there is some form of significance around soulmate connection. So I feel with the passing of the comet, I feel like it's triggering events. So that's what I've written down. There's a soulmate connection, and the comet passing by, it's triggering these events, or the reveal of your soulmates. And when it comes to soulmates, it's not always like lovers. Sometimes soulmates can be family, friends, and yes, sometimes lovers. So but Spirit just wants to remind us about these soulmates. I feel like if you don't already have many soulmates in your life, I feel like more of them are going to be coming closer, because these events, it's divine timing. This has been preordained, and things are moving into place because of this. Okay. So secrets revealed, that was another message that I'd written down. So I feel like there's a massive emphasis on things that have been hidden. That ties in actually with the Moon card, because the Moon card is kind of, it's to do with deception sometimes, because the moon card reminds us to pay attention to our intuition, and not to have the wool pulled over our eyes, and not to be kind of tunnel visioned, because a lot of the time we don't see things that are right in front of us. And this is a reminder here. So it is, my intuition guides me to the right decision. Okay. And yeah, just looking out for things, especially obvious things. A lot of the time, if something's like really obvious, we kind of dismiss it, or if we get a gut feeling about something, but we don't always go with it, or we don't always acknowledge it. So this is a reminder that we need to be making sure that we're not just brushing it off, we're not just letting it go in one ear out the other, or into the third eye and out of wherever else. We just need, when the guidance comes in, when we get that gut feeling, we need to go with it, because we get receiving it for a reason. Okay. Right, so the next card I want, let's go with an Ascended Master. I really like these cards. I've not used them in a while. So let's see which Ascended Master is coming in. Which Ascended Master is riding this comet? What energy is around the 31 Atlas Comet? Let us know, please. Oh my days, I'm going crazy. I'm trying to shuffle the book that goes with it. Wow. I must be tired. That is very shocking. The show must go on. Okay. Okay, what Ascended Master is surrounding the 31 Atlas Comet? Please let us know. Oh, I feel like we've got two. Oh, interesting. This name cropped up the other day, and I feel like this ties in with the Emerald Dragon as well. So we have Lakshmi, and she is, I believe, one of the Hindu deities, and she represents prosperity. It says the flow of prosperity is the key message here. So I feel like this is a divine reminder that there's, as much as the narrative is out there that there's a lack of this, that, and the other, that I feel like the divine is coming in to remind us that there's enough of everything for us all. There's no need to panic regarding certain things. Like we've been given these gifts to create things, to make things, to use our skills to create things that are desirable to others. So this is like, yeah, we can use this as an income, yeah, we can use things as a trading, but just the most important thing to remember is that there is no lack. And the more that you're grateful and you're tuned into, the more you tune yourself into the flow of prosperity, the more prosperity is going to come your way, and the abundance. Okay, so flow of prosperity. So that was Lakshmi. That is the first Ascended Master, which is around this energy. And we have Lu. Interesting, because Lu is a Celtic deity, but he's also a deity who symbolizes light. And of course, a comet is a form of light. So that is interesting that his energy would be around this comet. So the message of this card, the message is persistence. So I feel like Spirit is reminding us that there's too many of us, too many people just giving up. Yeah, Spirit gets times are difficult. Spirit gets that we're out here manifesting our asses off to get what we want, but Spirit just wants you to hold in there and keep on with that persistence, because it will pay off if you persist with it. But if you just give up halfway, then you're not really going to get very far with it. But persistence is the key. So that is the Ascended Master Lu. Okay, let's go with an angelic lightwork card. And don't try to shuffle the book this time, Ruben. Okay. Angelic light worker cards. All right, Spirit, what else do we need to know about this Atlas? Or this comet, rather? So, yeah, there is a massive significance with the galactic family, our star family. I feel like, yeah, it's definitely a correct. I feel like the people who are saying that the comet is connected with the star race, the galactic races, I feel like they are correct. Because there's definitely, we have ascended masters energy around the comet, so it would make a lot of sense that the galactic races, they would be around, their energy would be around it as well. Because we kind of forget, because we see ourselves, planet Earth, we've got all of this technology and we feel like we're so advanced, but we kind of forget that just because we don't have proof of other races who are more advanced than us doesn't mean that they're not there. Okay. Okay, what would you like to let us know, Spirit? Okay. Wow, interesting. Oh gosh, I'm dropping the cards. So the card that we have next is Recovery Through Grace. Recovery, not recovery into grace, it says, sorry. Interesting. I'm always banging on about grace. I feel like grace is such a wonderful thing. Like it's in a wonderful emotion, being graceful. Like grace, for anyone who doesn't know what it is, grace is when we do things for other people despite we do it despite whether they deserve it or not, where we're coming from a place of giving and kindness and gracefulness, and this is what it's all about. So it's like when we go out of our way for someone else and we're not asking for anything directly in return, we're just being graceful. So recovery into grace, this is what that card says. I've not actually pulled this card before, so I'm gonna see what the book says about this. So what number is it? Number 13, that's a good number. So 13 is a very spiritual number. He's often demonized, hence why we have Friday the 13th. But hey ho. Alright, so let's read what this says. Well, so there's a lot of stuff in here. Interesting, so this card is connected with the Archangel Raphael. So I was literally just talking about him because there was the connection with the Emerald Dragon. Right, recovery into grace. So it says, from the sudden ending of a career to the unwanted finish of a relationship, or the devastating act and aftermath of a loss. A loss can be difficult to process, even if it is more subtle, such as beliefs in a habit or a belief system you cannot rely upon anymore. All loss carries pain. However, there is a spiritual commitment, a promise that you and all souls impacted by loss shall be loved and guided by the angels to find a healing pathway through the emotional wreckage. In some way, shall grow and heal stronger than you were before. This oracle brings comfort in response to grief to all in need. Grace shall descend, and from that grace there shall be growth, and from that growth there shall be gratitude. Fear not, your heart shall know peace again. Healing, magic, and manifestation with Archangel Raphael. So then there's a little prayer that follows it. So I'll read this. It says, hold your hand over your heart. A divine emerald green light will grow and form a sacred circle of protection all around you. So this is a prayer. So if you want, you can repeat it after me if you feel moved to. If you're wanting to call upon Archangel Raphael for his healing and guidance, then repeat the prayer. So it says, Archangel Raphael, you now awaken divine healing, inspiration, and renewal within me for the greatest good of all. The sacred breath, the power of fresh air upon which you travel, ushers in a new cycle, clears away the past, and refreshes my heart and mind with optimism. Please hold and protect sacred space where healing shall happen, according to divine grace. I open my heart to you, my dear angelic friend. Please empower and bless this sacred work. So be it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So in that prayer, there was something very interesting. So it was banging on about a new cycle. So a new cycle, it's interesting because I feel like this is another significant thing which surrounds this 31 Atlas Comet. So it's all about divine timing. It's very specific that this comet is coming in now, so it's not just random. So I believe that there is a significance with us coming into the Kali Yuga cycle, and there's so many different cycles, but they all kind of resonate with each other. So there's the age of Aquarius. There's, if you're looking at Thelma, there's the age of Horus, or I believe we was coming into a new one now. What was it? I've completely forgotten. So we was in the age of Horus, but I believe we're moving into the next one. What was it? Yeah, completely gone from my mind. But yeah, you can look it up anyways. So it's due to the work of Aleister Crowley. So he developed a system called Thelma, and he believed that there was a number of ages, and he named the first one the age of Osiris. The second one, which followed, was the age of Isis, and the one that followed, which coincides with the age of Aquarius, that is the Aeon of Horus. So this is what we're in now, but it's likely moving on to the next cycle very soon. I did hear something about that, but it's completely gone out of my head what it was called. But it's one of the other Egyptian deities. So it may be like the Aeon of Anubis or something like that. I've completely forgotten. But if you look it up, I'm sure you will find it. So let's take a look at the Sacred Site cards. Sacred Site. So this may give us a bit of information on where the energy of this comet is going to be concentrated on this Earth. So where is the highest volume of this comet energy going to be concentrated on this Earth? So there may be a number of places, so I'll pull a number of cards to see where the significant places are for this energy, where the energy from the comet will be felt the most strongly. Let's see. What have you got for us? So I have this one. Interesting. Okay. Gelling. So this looks like somewhere in the... what do they call it? So like it looks like it must be Norway or something. I'm gonna have to look it up in the book because I'm not 100% sure, but it has runes on here, so this is looking very Norwegian to me. So yeah, there's Thor's hammer there as well. So I think gelling must be someplace in Norway or Iceland. Let's have a look. So what number card is this? It doesn't even say, I don't think. Oh, these cards are not numbered. Interesting. All right. The Age of Matt. Willow and Phil. Thank you, Willow and Phil. Yes, the Age of Matt. That was it. I completely forgot. And Jimmy Shepherd says, hi. And do you own all of that, or are you in some sort of library? Because I never have seen one. I haven't shuffled a book a day in my life. I'm not sure what that's referring to, but yeah, I guess this is my own private library, if that's what you're meaning. But yeah, so the new cycle that we're coming into is the Aeon of Matt. So we're coming out of the Aeon of Horus, which I believe started around 2012, and we shall be soon coming into the Aeon of Matt. So that's to do with Felmer. But the important thing is there is an emphasis on these new cycles that we're coming into, the new cycles. So the different belief systems, they're all referring to new cycles which are starting at this point in time. And this is why it's significant that the comet is coming through now. All right, so let's see what it says about gelling. Can't find that card. Please bear with me one moment while I find that card. Oh, it's interesting. I can't see a direction. Usually these cards have a direction as well. They usually tie in with the 4 points. That's unless I'm overlooking it. Let me see. Gelling. Where are you? Oh, Denmark. So I knew it was one of those European countries. So gelling in Denmark, page 32. Let's have a look, see. So it says there's a focus on transition, and the location is Vegel in Denmark. So these cards, they're all split up in lower world, middle world, and upper world, and they represent the past, present, and future of the situation. So it says on this card, Odin, the god of shamans, is seen riding his 8-legged horse, Sleipnir, who has the ability to venture into the underworld. Odin is one of the first of the male Aesir gods, and the father of many of the other gods, including Thor. So let's get to the good stuff. So today, Thor is using his hammer in anger, and they were respectfully feared, as too was the underworld. So what has caused you to be afraid in the past? Acknowledge your fears. They are no longer welcome on the path you walk. Okay, that's interesting. So make a list of your fears. How realistic are they? Have they served any purpose? For example, allowing you to stay within familiar and comforting patterns of behavior. Make the sacrifices that are necessary in order to remove these unwanted companions from your journey. So the middle world. So it says contemplate the 2 burial mounds. So I'll show you that again. And rune inscribed stones on the card. One stone at Gelling was dedicated in the 10th century by King Harold, Bluetooth's father, Gorm the Old, to his wife, Fera. The other, inscribed to Harold in honour of his parents, describes the Christianization of the Danes. Despite this Christian message, these stones represent the wisdom of the old ways and the secrets of ancient divination. Interesting. So that was one of the messages which was coming through. So secrets revealed, and it's echoing that message now. So the secrets of ancient divination, still available to us today. Harold's conversion may have been for pragmatic reasons, his life brought together pagan and Christian ways of being, as well as considerations of religion versus the practicalities of rulership. In your life, do you need to change from one way of thinking to another? Is there something in your life that you are afraid of bringing into the open? Have you agreed to something that is not your truth? To protect yourself and others, or to keep the peace, this is a time for transition, of seeing the world from a new perspective. And then lastly, it says the upper world represents, so Odin's ravens. So you see the two blackbirds there, they're Odin's ravens. It says Odin's ravens flew across the 9 worlds, returning to tell of all that they had learned. They escort you now as you explore different paths. Perhaps they will guide you as you transition to the ways of the ancients. The pagan gods were replaced by Jesus Christ, carved at the top of the world tree on this card, but Odin and the old ways live on in nature. Thought and memory. Thought creates and memory keeps that creation alive. In meditation, connect to the world tree. So the world tree is very important. So for the ancient, the world tree was kind of the bridge between all of the different worlds. So they believed they had like the material world, which was the everyday world, and then the world tree descended upwards to the realms of the gods and down underneath into the underworld. So where did I go? So it says, connect to the world tree, slide down its roots and question your beliefs. Are they actually yours, or were they handed down by parents or from their parents? How strong are your roots? Interesting. Okay, and then there is an invocation of the ancients. So it says, I call to Odin, god of the first, come within, so memory I can birth. Stand in the east quarter and say, I call to memory, brother of flight, share me your visions, your peripheral sight, so I am not fooled by all that I see, but remember the wisdom and truth within me. And then it says, stand in the south quarter and say, I call to Thor, great thunderous king, lend me your strength so I may sing of valor, of conquerors, gods of the old, of whispers and stories so long untold. Stand in the west quarter and say, I call to thought, creator of all, may dreams and wishes of all that you saw, like seedlings sown at the start of the year, grow strong in full honour of all that I hold dear. And finally, thank the ancestors and release them in reverse order with a simple, I bid you hail and farewell, and release you from the circle. Okay, so that was the gelling card. I've not actually read this card before, but that was interesting. So Denmark, not sure if there's any Danes watching, but that's interesting nonetheless. Oh, yeah, now I can see the arrow. That was so weird. I was looking and I could not see the arrow at the top there, because all of these cards, they have a little arrow which gives the significance of which cross quarter or cardinal point the card is associated with. So yeah, this is associated with the energy of the north. Okay. All right, so I'll pop that card down. Interesting. So I want another dragon card. I'm going to grab another dragon. Let's see what other dragons are around us. I bet there's likely some galactic dragons, because we had the Emerald Dragon, which was amazing. All right, let's see. What other dragons are around us? What other messages and gifts do they bring? I wonder. Let us know. Give me a card. All right, here we have Dark Blue Galactic Dragon. It literally says it in the name. All right, so this is the card we have. Dark Blue Galactic Dragon. So this dragon helps you listen to the voice of the universe. Ignite the codes of your master blueprint, access cosmic wisdom, and enter higher service. Interesting, because earlier on today I was doing a meditation, like a witch friend of mine had suggested that I tap into the halls of Menti, which are hidden chambers underneath the pyramid, but they hold cosmic information and cosmic power which has been stored away across the ages, and all of us have access to these things because it's like they have things that's been stored away for each and every one of us. So these are magical spiritual gifts. So when we connect with the halls of Amenti, you can then have access to those gifts which have been stored away. So it's interesting that it mentions about cosmic wisdom and listening to the voice of the universe. So I'm going to read the book on that one, see what other messages it says about that, because I find that interesting. The Dark Blue Galactic Dragon. Where are you? Dark blue, dark blue, dark blue. Ah, there it is. So it's one of the 9th dimensional dragons. 104. Let's have a look. So it says, so about this, it says, these dragons shimmer with golden sparkles of cosmic wisdom, for they harness the light of the stars, planets, and constellations. When we are ready, they touch us with this light, enabling us to embody the illumined energy and wisdom they contain. So that's interesting that this is how it's describing this energy, because the reading is regarding this comet, which is essentially one of a similar thing, if you get my meaning. So it says, while many of us are now able to attune to the 9th dimension, it is still an awesome light filled with joy, love, and wisdom beyond our current comprehension. Dark blue galactic dragons can send bursts of this cosmic searchlight through us to ignite the hidden codes of our master blueprint, the 7th dimensional light of our soul, so that we can listen to the voice of the universe. Remember, our soul must be at least 7th dimensional for us to receive permission to incarnate on Earth. All right, so the extra guidance, your soul journey has taken you to the stars and beyond. The dark blue galactic dragons now invite you to communicate with the masters of the universe, the intergalactic council, where you can contribute your energy for the smooth ascension of the planet. It is time to listen and serve. So that is another message which keeps coming up. So I believe one of the other cards was talking about acting in service, and there was then another card which was talking about humanitarian issues, working on those. So it's kind of a theme, I guess, about being of service, being graceful, and helping out, wanting to make a change. So ask the wondrous dragon who has come to you to tune you into the intergalactic council, where you will be offered the honour of petitioning the council. Decide whether your petition is for the welfare of animals or humanity, or to assist the ascension of the planet. Then ask the dragon to take you to the council, to present your petition. Dark blue galactic dragons will also instruct you during meditation or sleep. This will enable you to serve in a galactic capacity and will hugely expand your energy fields. Interesting. So that is the dark blue galactic dragon. So let me grab another. I want to go with another ascended master. I feel with like such an important energy as this one, there's going to be a lot of ascended masters energy around this comet and around this situation around Earth to assist us and to help us with this change that we're clearly going through, this reset and new age. Okay, so what else do we need to be aware of? Please let us know, Spirit. Okay, I want this one. I feel like I wanted more than one card then, but we have this one. Interesting. So that is very interesting. So we have Toth or Tehuiti or Jehuiti, whatever way you want to pronounce his name. So Toth, also known by some, I believe it was it the Greeks as Hermes Trismegistus, but I believe it's the same energy. Toth and Hermes, they became equated into one deity, and that was Hermes Trismegistus. But this ascended master Toth, he is the creator of writing, of language and communication. So there is an importance around this time with writing. So whether this is writing some form of letter, whether it's a letter that you're actually going to send out, or whether it's just shadow work that you're doing where you're writing a letter to yourself or to your inner child. Interesting. All right, I'm going to have a look at the book with this one to see where it's suggesting, to see if we can get a bit more clarity on that one. It's tough because Toth, he is one of the Egyptian deities. It's such a wide subject, really. So let's see what the creator of this deck actually attributes as the message of this card. If I can find it, that is. Okay. Right, look at the contents page. I always forget to do that. What's the message? It says right. And it doesn't look like... Oh, yes, they are in alphabetical order. 88, page 88. Okay, here it is. So, pronounce Tehuite or Toth. So it says you drew this card as a concrete reminder to write. You've been receiving lots of signs and feelings to write lately. So let this card be the message that leads you to take action. Get out a pad of paper or your laptop computer and begin writing. Don't worry about punctuation, grammar, or spelling, as you can take care of those details later. For now, just express your thoughts and feelings as they flow into your mind and body. So yeah, that may be important, even if it's just journaling. Journaling is such a powerful tool, whether it's dream journaling where you write down what your dreams were first thing on the morning when you wake up, or journaling can be powerful if it's like for shadow work or just for like emptying your head. I know a lot of us, we have so much thoughts in our head and the thoughts are just whizzing around, and it's just so much, and our minds can be messy places sometimes. So journaling is such a useful tool because we can literally just write everything down and get it out, and it helps us clear our heads sometimes. So the additional meanings for this card: keep a daily journal of your feelings and experiences. write down your intentions, goals, and desires. Channel messages from your guides and angels. Your life's purpose involves writing. Write an article or a book. So with channeling messages from your guides and angels, if that's something that is very new to you or something that you've not done before, check out some of my videos, because I did create a series which was specific to channeling and starting that and working with intuition to be able to discern what messages are coming from spirit or from our guides and what is just like brain chatter. Okay, so yeah, if you're gonna have a go at channeling and you've not done it before, check out those videos. Okay, interesting. So we've got how many Ascended Masters? So I think that's 3 Ascended Masters. It's an interesting combination that. So there's Lakshmi to do with prosperity and abundance. And then we have Lu, who is to do with persistence and light. And there is Toph to do with writing and journaling. Interesting. All right, let me pull another. Let's go with another Sacred Site card. Let's see where else in the earth there's a high concentration of this energy. So where else is this comet energy gonna leave its trails? Because it's going to affect the whole planet, but I guess there may be some places which will be affected more than others. So what else have you got for us? Okay. Mount Kenya. Okay, so that is the card. Mount Kenya. Right, so let's have a look. Where did I just pop that book? This is what happens when you read from multiple decks. Right, so let's see. Because these cards are quite complex. They've got so much depth to them with the 3 layers. So let's see which cardinal point this is connected with. So this is connected with South cardinal point. Mount Kenya. Now let's see. So it's page 172. Okay, so it says this. So the energy focus is sustenance. The location is in Nyeri, Kenya. So for the lower world, or the past, it says, life of the Maasai, the famous tribe who live in the shadow of Mount Kenya, revolves around their intense relationship with their cattle. These creatures who can singularly sustain human life were gifted to the Maasai by their sky god, Engai, who resides on Mount Kenya. Cattle and their mountain together created a paradise, and it was humankind's duty to look after it all. The intricate balance of life exists only when we remember to respect this duty. A message mirrored in many other creation stories throughout the world. Do you take more than you need, materially and emotionally, from others and from nature? Perhaps you have substituted feelings of inadequacy for material wealth, or taken from others without reciprocating. Start to readdress the balance by taking the time to properly thank those who help you. Writing a letter, for example, or offering your time in return. Interesting. So literally the last card and this card have kind of tied together. So it's suggesting you write a letter. So a letter of thanks to somebody. Interesting. Well, great gratitude and thankfulness is a very powerful energy. Either way. So the middle world. So in the middle of the card, this represents a presence. It says Mount Kenya Kirinyaga is the link between the heavens and the earth, a resting place for the gods when they visit. As a provider of fresh water for more than 2 million people, this mountain sustains life itself. Its flora is diverse and bountiful, allowing all who reside on and near it real potential to thrive, so long as the delicate balance of man, animal, and vegetation prevail. The power symbol is the Maasai shield. So that is just here in, if you look where my finger is. So that is the Maasai shield. Shield and spear, signifying the defense of the freedom to live and to prosper. It is your birthright to live and to prosper in a world that has all we could ever need. So again, that's another message that's cropped up previously. If you do not feel that you are thriving right now, then you need to address why. What do you think you are lacking? Is it something material or emotional? And who or what do you think can provide what you need? Be brutally honest with yourself, for in truth, it does not take much to sustain a fulfilling life. Okay, so we're to the last part of this card now, so the upper world. So it says Engai, the sky god, is the source of life to the Maasai. Also, I believe this is Engai, the sky god, at the top here. After all, he gave them cattle and regulates both the rainfall and the sunlight. He is a dual aspect deity. Engai Narok, the black god, is benevolent, forming large, dark clouds that bring rain and sow life. Engai Yoke, I may have pronounced that wrong, the red god, is vengeful, forming a fiery sky devoid of rain and carrying bolts of destructive lightning. It appears to you as a reminder that you can choose to be nurturing in life or not. And if you choose to be angry, red-faced, or selfish, then remember that your actions may have consequences that extend far into the future. For example, do you recycle? Collect your own water where possible. Avoid using pollutants such as weed killer or snail pellets. These actions may seem trivial, but just as the Maasai live with the greatest respect for their environment, so you too are called on to be more conscious of your lifestyle choices in order that you may still have a future to enjoy. So that is the message of that card. And then there is a pledge to the earth. So it says, go out into nature to the foot of a hill or a mountain, to the edge of a lake, stream, or ocean, and facing the natural wonder before you, and with all your heart make the following vow. I pledge to live, work, and act in a loving, respectful way toward the earth, my home, and toward all living things upon it. I will resist the urge to purchase too many things and avoid anything that is produced in a manner that involves social or environmental harm. I will endeavour to avoid selfish or arrogant behaviour, giving love and kindness to those around me. I will seek work that brings me fulfillment and which contributes to the well-being and harmony of this planet and its people, creatures and plants. I will explore the realities of people, animal species, natural ecosystem outside my country, that I may better understand the hopes and difficulties of those with whom I share the earth. So that's a nice message. Okay. And that one is Mount Kenya. I'm going to do one more of those cards. See where else is the energy peaking. I wonder, what have you got? for us, Spirit? Where should we know about? Okay, Petra, interesting. So Petra is Jordan, I believe. Okay, so that is the card. I love the lion. The lions. There's like stone lions. I didn't know. I'm not sure if there really is stone lions at Petra, unless that was a thing of the past. But let me have a look at the card. So Petra, and the direction, the cardinal direction for this card is the west. Interesting. And it's interesting because I think each of the directions, they're like an additional meaning onto the card as well. So there's so much depth in this. So west, where is the west? All right, so yeah, it says west, sights of the west call the spiritual warrior within to arms, challenging those who gravitate to these places to deal with their fears, pains, and anxieties in the here and now. These sights resonate with those who rely on their inner knowing, calling you to wield your power wisely and understand the beauty of universal interconnection while remaining detached from the drama of it all. By paying attention to the messages of the middle world, you can accomplish a great deal in your life right now. If you choose the Machu Picchu card, for example, know that you must stop waiting for the right time or person and instead work out what is right for you and what is not. To transform your life now, choosing many of these cards is a reminder to exercise discernment and the right use of power, and to stop tagging along behind those who have found worldly success. Okay. So Petra. Let's find it. Repeating that like that was just reminding me of the Hunger Games. It reminds me there's like a silly compilation of the Hunger Games where Katniss Everdeen's, she's like pitter pitter pitter, and then someone's like got the different clips where she's saying it. They've just put like a pit of bread, like she's calling out to a pit of bread and not to Peter, because that's the way she says that name. But yeah, bit of useless information there. Petra, 122. Okay, so it says the energy focus is exploration. The location is in Man, Jordan. So the lower world and the past. So it says you are greeted by two winged lions that protect the sacrament of Al-Uzza, the goddess daughter of Allah. She was worshipped in pre-Islamic times by the Nabateans, the Arabic tribe that suddenly gave up their nomadic way to carve out their capital at Petra. Many have questioned what underlay this great change and ponder exactly how it was achieved and by whom. The Nabateans began to produce amazing sculptors, artists, and architects, and created one of the wealthiest and most beautiful cities of its day. Unprecedented change is possible for you too. If you have been feeling that you are simply drifting through life, perhaps you need to explore your ancestral history for inspiration and the revelation of truths that may indicate your hidden talents, or show you your mission in life. And next we have the middle world. The middle world, which represents the present. The facade of the treasury of Petra is spectacular, but what lies behind it, just as mystery surrounds the purpose of this site, so you have been blocked from discovering the whole truth about an important aspect of your life. Is there something you disguise about yourself, fear of letting the world know your truth. Maybe you are insecure but pretend to be the life and soul of the party. Or do you hide your spiritual awakening from those who are close to you, afraid of losing them? This card presents itself to you now because it's time to acknowledge the part of you that you have not yet dared to examine fully. Whatever your hidden ambition, take a step toward fulfilling it. If you have always seen yourself as a healer, for example, try attending a workshop, joining a like-minded group of intuitives, or simply start by treating yourself to a holistic therapy. Many avenues are open for you to explore. And then lastly, there is the upper world. Al-Uzza and her sisters, I cannot pronounce that, sorry. So Al-Uzza and her sisters together form a trinity, the triple goddess, maiden, mother and crone, interestingly enough. Al-Uzza, known as the Strong One, was revered as the goddess of the morning and evening star Venus. The old gods and goddesses have been replaced by new ones, and the sun and star deities have been honoured by many different names. The triple goddess, too, is revered in many forms. The previous persona is about to change if you are willing. Be courageous and accept the challenges, opportunities for travel, new friendships coming your way, as they will all help you to mature and live authentically. If you live in harmony with who you really are, you will find life far easier to navigate, and instead of struggling, you will have more time to discover its hidden treasures. This card also indicates that numerology, the study of the power of numbers, has a special meaning for you right now. Okay, so that is the Petra card. Right, so I want, let's go, seeing as it's talking about the special significance of numerology, let's have a numerology card next. Let's go with Spirit's guidance. All right, Spirit, what else do we need to be aware of surrounding 31 Atlas Comet? What other energies have we not yet been made aware of? Yep. Wisdom and responsibility, number 9. So number 9 is a number of completion, so events coming to completion. So things that we've been working on have finally paid off. We've reached the end mark. We've accomplished what we set out to accomplish. And the special message here is wisdom and responsibility. So wisdom, what is wisdom? So just simply put, wisdom is when we put our knowledge that we've gathered throughout our lifetime, when we put that knowledge to use in the correct way, then we are using wisdom. So this is what they call wisdom. And responsibility, so responsibility, gosh, like a lot of people would love to shrug off the responsibilities. So some of us may have responsibilities. We may be responsible for pets, for family members, for children, for parents, grandparents. We may have work responsibilities. We may have home responsibilities, property responsibilities. Just the list is endless. There's so many responsibilities that we have as human beings. So this is just a reminder about those. Don't forget your responsibilities. Okay. Right, I want to go with a dragon, I feel. Let's maybe a dragon, then a crystal tarot power card to close. Right, let's see. Right, what other dragon energy is around us, which ties in with the energy of this comet? Please let us know. Thank you, Spirit. you. Actually, have I read any actual tarot? Have I? Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I have read any actual tarot. They've all been oracle cards, haven't they? That's bizarre. I thought I had some tarot here. Huh, that is bizarre, but never mind. Right, so let's see. What have you got for us, Spirit? Okay, let's go with this one. Okay. Golden Crested Dragon. Go figure. Okay. So this is the card we have. So the Golden Crested Dragon brings you higher love so that you embody the Christ light. So when we're talking about Christ light, so when spiritualists talk about Christ light, it's not specific to Christ, it's just the name that they go with. So it's referring to like a higher being, such as like Buddha being one of them, like an ascended master. So Christ is one of them, Buddha is one of them. There may be many more. That I know there's like Tara or Kuan Yin. Yeah, Kuan Yin is another one of the enlightened beings. So when we're talking about golden Christed light or Christ light, we're talking about this. So it says, Golden Crested Dragon brings you higher love so that you embody the Christ light. So I'll show you that one more time. Okay. Absorb the Christ light or the Buddha light or the Kuan Yin light. You are protected, expand your heart and remain fifth dimensional. Whatever that means, fifth dimensional. It makes me laugh when they bang on about the dimensions all of the time, but I guess it's just new age spiel for this, that, and the other. But the most important thing is expand your heart and stay connected to the heart and the guidance that is there. Okay. Right, so what did I say I wanted to pull next? Yeah, Crystal Tarot. Crystal Tarot. Let's have one more of you. What time are we at? You're kidding me, God, is that the time? Yeah. Oh, alright, so. And there's a message. Alright, so. Atomic AS3E is quartz crystal the most protective crystal? So quartz crystal is one of the crystals that can be used for pretty much anything. So because it's clear quartz, it can hold any form of energy. But if you're looking for the most protective crystal, usually the most protective crystals are gemstones that are black or brown. So smoky quartz would be one of the most protective, or black tourmaline, something like that. Okay, but when it comes to clear quartz crystal, it's a really good amplifier stone. So you can store energy, different forms of energy inside the crystal, or you can use the electromagnetic energies from the stone to amplify your manifesting or your spell work or your healing, whatever you're wanting to use it for. All right, so let's see. Crystal. Oh, actually, so this is tarot. So we did have some tarot. Forgot about that. All right, so let's see. All right, what do we need to know about? What have we not yet learned? Please let us know. Okay, 4 cups. And the crystal connected with this is aquamarine. So I listen to my heart and follow my knowing. So that's kind of tying into what we were just talking about. So that is the card. trying to remember. Four of Cups. That's interesting. All right, let me read what it says in the book for this one. If I find where I just put the damn book. Oh, there it is. Four of Cups. Let's see what the book gives to this message. So it says, all right, so yeah, it is that card. So the main message here is boredom. So I feel like there's a few options. So we have the Four Cups there. So the cups are representing options that we have available to us. So there are a few options or choices, but I feel like people can be this way sometimes. We have these many different options. We've got these blessings in our life, but we're kind of not satisfied by it, or we find it a little bit boring. We're after something a bit more exciting, but it's a little bit ungrateful, to be fair. So let's read what it says here. So boredom, hitting a plateau in a relationship or at work, finding yourself in a situation which you are beginning to feel listless and even stuck. You may be feeling disillusioned and flat as the expectations you once had don't materialize. You may feel the need for inspiration or direction and hope for positive change, rather than wait for things to improve dramatically. You can make some small decision that lifts your mood so you can see where to go next. Interesting. So I find it very interesting that a lot of these cards, there's been a strong emphasis around like earth energy, like in greens, a lot of green. So aquamarine, that's like sea green. We had emerald, aquamarine. So these are all. So I feel like that there's a strong emphasis with healing here. So I know that we had messages from Toph where he was telling us to do some writing. So we may use the writing or journaling as a form of healing as well. But there's other forms of healing as well that can be used. There's meditation is one of them. There's stuff like Reiki or Sekhem, angelic Reiki. There's various forms of energy healing. There's stuff like self-care routines, like massage, chiropractors, you name it. There's a long list of different ways where we can have some self-care and look after ourselves properly. So there was a lot of emphasis in this reading to do with earth energy. So just simply like spending time in nature, that is one of the easiest ways where we can give back to ourselves and connect with the earth. And just simply spending time, like going for a walk in the park or walking through the trees or any form of nature, really, just breathing in some fresh air. This scientifically, we take in something called negative ions. So it may sound like it's a bad thing, but it's actually the opposite. Negative ions are what's needed. So we get positive ions from stuff like electricals, like our phones give off positive ions, and Wi-Fi that gives off positive ions. All of these electrical things that we have all around us, they all give off positive ions. So when we go out into nature, we receive the negative ions, which help to remedy all of the stress that we've got from all of this technology. So this is why spending time in nature is an easy way of self-care and for healing. Okay, and there was also the message about calling upon the Archangel Raphael. So if you have an emerald, if you have an aquamarine, or any green stone, to be fair, if you can get a green gemstone, that will also help you to connect to Raphael's energy. And he's one of the archangels. He rules the cardinal point of the east. So if you face the east, that will also is another way that can help you tune into his energies. Okay. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I feel like I've been going on for a while, so thank you all for tuning in. Do check out some of the other videos, and I'll send you brightest blessings and hope to see you again.